grabs me and he's all aggressive and you just jab it right into his arm. It's pretty minging, it's pretty uncomfortable. In this video, I'm going to be talking all about the two Koga that we have for sale at Enso. I'm going to be talking about what they are, why they were invented, what they're made of, who would use them, and at the end I'm going to show you a few little techniques just to get you started practicing with the Koga. Hi, my name's Doug Swift. I've been doing martial arts for the past 33 years and the owner of Enso Martial Arts for the past 16 years. If you're liking this video, subscribe to our channel and get all the latest videos from Enso Martial Arts. So let's get into this video and learn all about the Koga we have for sale at Enso. So these are Koga. Now these were invented by an American guy that was sort of worked with the police, and he wanted a more non-lethal weapon for police officers. Now I don't know how much that's caught on with the police. You know, the policing in America, what you see in the news, seems very different to what it is here, but you know, maybe he's managed to sell these and get the police using them. But they are very good for practicing self-defense techniques in like a class setting. So it's a very simple, very small little tools, similar to like the Kubotan, something like that, that you can use for practicing, for striking, locking, yeah, hitting pressure points, all that kind of stuff. So there's two different designs. Now these are both made by Cold Steel, American company, and they make training weapons out of this crazy hard plastic. It's like a polypropylene like condensed plastic, and it's incredibly tough, incredibly durable. To give you some idea, they class this as being unbreakable and say that you will never break it. It will never rot, it will never chip, it will never dent. It is really tough material, and we get quite a lot of training weapons from Cold Steel made out of it, like the Bokken, the Wakizashi, Tantos, the Screamer sticks, and we get these Kogas as well that are a really nice, neat little weapon. Now you get two. Well, you can buy two different types from us. Now one is a little bit more chunkier and a little bit longer, and it's got these sort of big round ends on it, and you also get one that's just smaller. You can see the comparison, which has got these kind of very dull spikes on the end of it. Both have these kind of ribbed middles, so you get a really good handhold in your hand. So I've got, I don't know, medium-sized hands, and just the spikes stick out either end, and then you can see on these you get quite a bit more sticking out of each end. Now there's loads of techniques you can do with these. There's all kinds of different things that you can do, but I guess the main one is just striking, and you can do like little joint locks, wrist locks and arm locks, and also pushing them into pressure points like in the neck or whatever, and I'll show you a few of those a bit later. So who would use this, and where, more importantly, could you go and learn to use a weapon like this? Well, really it's going to be like the self-defense classes that are doing like similar techniques. If they're not using these specifically, they will be doing very similar techniques with like short sticks, Kubotans, things like that. So you want to look at like anything that's very heavily self-defense based, and this is going to be stuff like Krav Maga, like the fast defense system, Casey fighting method. There's loads of them around, there's loads of offshoots, but I would start searching places like that. Now lots of martial arts talk about teaching self-defense, and that's very good, but you want one that's specifically about self-defense, street defense, yeah, defending yourself against an attacker on the street. That's really what you want to be looking for in a class, and then you can get in and learn to use these little weapons. So I'll just give you an idea of the dimensions, just a few simple ones. So the bigger Koga is about 7 inches, you know, 18 centimeters, something like that, and the shorter one is around 6 inches, 15 centimeters. Now they're both pretty lightweight, and I'll put all the dimensions, the weights, everything on the website, so just go and check that out if you want to know more about that. Just a little disclaimer, carrying weapons in the UK is a pretty grey area. It's not really allowed at all. Now, if you have the intended purpose for self-defense in terms of bashing someone with it, you're not going to be allowed to carry this. Now, if it's in your bag and you're going to class and you've got training kit in there and you're obviously off to class, then you are allowed to carry these things around. They are, as I said earlier, like completely non-lethal. It is just a shaped stick. But it is all about intent. If you're out on Saturday night in town having a few beers and you've got one in your pocket, it's a really, really bad idea. You are going to get in trouble for that. If, like I said, you're driving to class and in the boot of your car and you've got them in a kit bag with loads of other stuff, it's absolutely fine. In terms of having them at home, yeah, you're allowed to have them at home, that's no problem. If you've been out smashing windows and all the rest of it and the police raid your house and find them on you, they will hold that against you for having offensive weapons. If you're minding your own business and being a very good citizen, then there's absolutely no problem. So it's a very grey area. It's all about use and behaviour. So I'll leave that to you to decide how you want to deal with them. But as far as I understand it, that's the kind of legal position in the UK. So as I mentioned earlier, we have quite a wide range of small self-defense weapons at Enso Martial Arts. So as well as the two different designs of Koga, we also have rubber knives, two different training knives by Cold Steel. We do the standard training knife and the peacekeeper knife. Plastic cram bits, two types of Kubatans, three types of wooden tanto, and the much loved rubber gun. So as promised earlier, here are a few little techniques just to get you started with Koga, so you've just got a little understanding of the type of thing that they'd be used for. So my absolute favourite, which Connor will hate, and I'll use the big one for this just for fun, is if Connor goes to grab me, if he's like starting on me and he's like, you know, wants to cause a bit of trouble, you can just flip this thing over the top of the wrist and just put it on the wrist, and it's pretty uncomfortable. You can see Connor's face, you know. And like you can roll it around on the bone and it's all minging and all the rest of it. So yeah, that's a really nice one to do, and that can work in any way whatsoever. You can have it just, you know, you can ram it on the top, rub it on, flip it over, either way. If you go over the top, you get a really nice hold of his wrist as well, so you know, if he does let go, you can kind of, I don't know, pull him around, do whatever. These like blunt ends are quite good for bashing, again non-lethal. So yeah, again, if you wanted, you can hit certain points like the temple. Don't do that hard with anybody, you know, and you can hit people like in the neck or whatever. The sharp little ones, these are really, really good, like getting right up underneath the ears. It's a really painful bit. There's a nice nerve cluster under there. Also, if you've got like if he grabs me, there's a nice point right in here that you can just get in. That's really painful, yeah. And like you can actually be fairly inaccurate with it. Anywhere down between those muscles in the forearm, down the middle of the arm, is a really, really sore point. You know, you get between the muscles right onto like the tendons and nerves. It's pretty horrible. There's other points that you can get in like on the shoulder that are quite hard. So if Connor comes up and he grabs me and he's all aggressive and you just jab it right into his arm, it's pretty minging, it's pretty uncomfortable. So yeah, have a go with someone you like that's nice and forgiving. Don't do them too hard, but just get used to like dealing with that pressure and quickly just jabbing them in certain points. And yeah, take it easy with your mates, otherwise they're not going to be your mates for long. Thanks very much for watching. I hope it was useful. I hope you learned loads about the Koga that we have for sale at Enso. If you like this video, click the little icon, subscribe to this channel and get all the latest videos and updates from Enso Martial Arts. Thanks very much, and I'll see you soon. Cheers!